Hey, Sam Slade, tell me why Trump shouldn't have won.
You're gay.
So Sam Slade, what do you think?
So that movie's not good.
What?
It is plenty not good. There's a lot of garbage in that movie, but like I can't help but like have a smile on my face talking about it because just there's so many things about that I'm just like that was great.
So,
but like great in like not a good way though. Like great in like a way that's just like, oh dude, remember when Dredd said this like or whatever?
Yeah.
Like my favorite line is when he gets convicted. They're like, Dredd, you're under arrest and you're convicted to death because you killed people. And he just stands up and he's like, I've never broke the law. I am the law.
I never broke the law. I am the law.
remember when they tried to shoehorn "I am the law" into every corner they could?
Oh yeah, because he is the law.
Remember, like that's his first line. I am the law and the
law. But there's so many cool things. Like he gets the mic that comes down just so he can yell at people.
Well, I went into that movie and I was like, I want to go in with this fresh. Like I want to try to give this movie as clean of a slate as a movie can have. And so I went in and I was like, all right, some of the sets look kind of cool, like 80s.
It starts off really cool.
Really cool. Yeah, that's true. It definitely, the beginning, like the first 10 minutes, is like, oh, this is gonna be a cool movie.
Yeah, the way it opens.
But
it opens up with like the comment page, and I was like, oh, it's cool because it's like that's kind of what the Marvel current logo thing started off as. That's really cool.
it looks like if Blade Runner was made in the 90s,
Yeah.
and it took place in Detroit. Like that's what it looks like to me.
My biggest,
It's like Blade Runner and Total Recall.
so the movie's really silly. It's really dumb. There's a lot of dumb stuff in it.
Oh, there's a whole bunch.
Rob
of
Schneider's there.
I cannot believe. Me and Kevin were talking about this earlier. I cannot believe how long he was in the whole movie. He was there the whole time.
I was really hoping because Kevin mentioned him, and I was like, okay, so he's only in the beginning. Maybe he'll show up later a little bit, but then he ends up being his sidekick.
He's in the whole thing.
Fucking sidekick. Oh my god,
It was horrible.
I'm
pretty sure every line he had was ad-libbed, and it was horrible. Every single thing was like everything.
Okay, Judge Dredd. Gotta say something funny.
He started off not being entertaining. Like his first couple lines. When he first showed up, I was like, okay, why are you the first character I see? Like, why is Dredd not the first thing I see?
Why am I seeing this?
Hey, look what I got. Little cupcake. What have we got here? You a judge spy, little man?
Me? A spy? This guy. It's funny. No. I live here. I mean, I'm gonna live here. If I live. Maybe I should go to a hotel.
No way, man! Don't you hear him out there? It's block war, man.
Here's the thing. So, he was crap. There's a lot of crap, but a lot of the crap had payoffs, which I thought was cool. Like most movies that have crap, it's just kind of like, oh well, it's crap, and they have this, and like there's no reason, you know. But at
when
least
they made him a hacker.
Yeah, well, they made him a hacker, and they set that up in the beginning, and they put him in the spaghetti machine or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he hacks the robot.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, dude, a payoff.
A really dumb payoff.
Dude, Brian would love it. He loves payoffs.
Dude, he would. Well, it's got Dredd in it, dude.
It does.
Another thing.
Dredd was only in his costume twice. Or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
See, that was a problem. Like that. I mean, I was like, he should have been in more. But at the same time, that movie has more of an excuse for him to be out of his costume.
Yeah.
Than
To be fair.
the other one.
Yeah, which is
Because
Dredd
a
take
lot
off
of
your
scenes
uniform.
are like just outside of him working. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm teaching kids to be Dredd and stuff. But here's the thing.
Alright, so this is how you be the law. You be me.
Sylvester Stallone is like probably the perfect Dredd though. Like in certain aspects, like he looks like I would want Dredd to look.
Yeah.
You know, he took it really seriously. It looked like it was really cool.
On the law.
No, I would agree with that. Like, next to, what's his name? Actual Dredd.
Carl Urban.
Yeah, Carl Urban. Like he would definitely be one of my top picks for him just because he did seem like he took it seriously. He looked like he had fun doing it too. Like, he seemed like he wanted to be there. He definitely didn't phone it in.
You ever had a friend? He's like, I did once. It's like, what happened to him? I judged him.
Remember when he was like, you made me judge my own brother?
That was the
one
best
of my
scene. That is the best scene because it makes no sense because Max von Sydow was just like, oh, strange brew, and he's like in there and he's just like, Oh, okay. So let me tell you everything. You had a brother, but you
One
were
of
in
the
factory.
things that's
and then he's like, "You made me judge my brother."
the
He never knew
silliest
he was your
things,
brother.
the silliest part that he never knew it was his
Like
brother.
immediately.
Okay, no. How dare you?
He's immediately
He was my
emotionally
brother.
attached.
Okay, no. Okay, what actually happened was...
Well, at the academy, you told me they were killed when I was very young. A lie. I have a picture of them. A fake. We lied to both of you. Both. There was another infant created in that experiment, but something went wrong. Genetically mutated into the perfect criminal. I have a brother? We were best friends at the academy, star pupils. And then he turned. And for his crimes, you judged him. Miguel. Miguel. You let me judge my own brother?
Well, see, because they didn't look exactly alike. But I'm pretty sure they.
Yeah, no, they did not
That's
look
the
exactly
They
alike
can't
at
be
all.
brothers and clones. Like it doesn't because they weren't clones. Obviously,
No, they
were
weren't clones. They were cloned off of the same DNA. Like they're not like replicas of each other.
Yeah.
But they are based off the same DNA.
Okay.
Which I thought, like, that whole plot twist to me, I didn't buy it at first. I was like, that's silly. I don't know if I like Dredd being, like, a clone. I don't know if that's how he is in the comics, but to me that sounds kind
Yeah,
of silly.
most stuff like that, I just kind of like took it. I was just like, okay, maybe in the comic it's like that.
I don't think so.
But
think so.
I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
silly because,
Because there's a lot in the movie that is not in the comic. The world, from what I understand, that's the only thing that's really in the comic books.
like
But the
Dredd
story, I
Dredd
think,
was
is-
really fishing for some emotional attachment to that guy because not only, like, they're not really brothers, they're just cloned from the same DNA. Like, they have no actual relation to each
Oh,
other.
he was his brother.
Like, he was just looking for a reason to be mad about that.
You let me judge my own brother?
Like, okay, so what's happening
All
now?
of all of Dredd's dialogue was the best. It was just so crap. Like everything he said was so like I'm the law. Like everything. He sounded like he was like
Hey.
mentally retarded.
Yeah, like, even though he's the perfect person for Dredd, they got the worst performance out of him they possibly could have.
Yeah,
like-
but, I mean, I don't know. Like I know what you mean, but it was mostly just like I guess the best way to put it is like all the one-liners and everything were exactly predictable.
Yeah.
Like you knew exactly like when he's listing off all the crap that one guy did, and he's like, "You're arrested for this, and that," and he's like, "That's for 10 years, and this for like 20 years," and then he's like, "For killing a judge," and he's like, "What? Let me guess, life?" And he's like, "Death."
Death. Court's adjourned.
I was like, "Yep."
Yep, that's exactly what I
That's
expected.
what I thought he would say.
So yeah, all in all, what would you guys rate Judge Dredd?
10 out of 10.
I
was shocked.
I named that 10 judges out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 4 judges.
So yeah, perfect movie. See it.
Perfect Judge movie.
It is the best movie I've seen called Judge Dredd.
Something I thought was really interesting. They kind of had a Super Mario Brothers thing going on behind the production, which is really cool because I'm like, okay, I gotta know how this movie was made. I want to know what was happening because something was not working.
Dude, tax. It's all about tax incentives.
And turns out, the director, he was setting out to make a super serious Dredd movie. Like, he thought the world was super dark and like, for the most part, like the comic book was.
Like Dredd, the movie.
Yeah, like Dredd the movie. And he was like, yeah, so this is gonna be like, it's gonna be like really dark and like, oh, like this when someone dies, it like matters. There's no one-liners, there's no jokes. It's like, oh man, they died. That's crazy. More along the lines of like Blade Runner.
I would want one.
All right, so
And Sylvester Stallone and the studio both wanted it to be more fun. Mainly because Sylvester Stallone wanted it to be more fun. He's like, no, we should put a one-liner in there. He's like, no, I don't want to put a one-liner. Okay, we're putting a one-liner
He's
there.
like, then why'd you hire me?
and then the studio's like, that's a good idea, Sylvester Stallone. Get Rob Schneider in there. And then they kept adding, and it's like, so the director, he actually, I think after that, I don't know if he directed anything of it, but he...
Rob Schneider's the worst part of that movie easily, though.
yes.
Yeah, no, he is. But the director, like, went into exile. Practically, he's like, I'm done with everything.
He brings the quality of that movie down so much. Like, if he was taken out, it would not be nearly as bad, I feel like.
Yeah, no. Roger Ebert calls it one of the worst films of '95. I'm like, that's right.
The original story behind RoboCop is that it was originally a Dredd script. Like it was written as a Dredd script. And then I don't remember if it was licensing or if the studio just didn't think Dredd was as licensable, but they changed it and overhauled it into a different script. Like there was rewrites and it became RoboCop. I think what could have happened is that being how RoboCop ended up being made, and like that being successful, being as cheesy and campy as it was, they could have just been like, oh yeah, let's put Rob Schneider in there. He'll be great.
Also, Total Recall was a huge success in the early '90s. So I think that inspired a lot of people to do that same kind of thing with those kind of effects, you know, like the Super Mario Brothers movie and Judge Dredd.
One of the things
by the time it reached the mid '90s, it had all faded out.
Well,
Total Recall was easily the last good.
One of my
horror.
problems that I had with it, like legitimately, like I was having fun with it. I was like, this is dumb. This movie's real dumb. Rob Schneider leave. But I was a little disappointed in the violence.
Right.
That was
It's a rated R movie. Why
Yeah.
not go?
Was it
Like
rated R?
It is rated R.
The only time we got any violence was when the robot grabbed the guy by the arms and he was like, I'm gonna rip your arms, or robot, rip the arms off. And then it cuts away and you see blood falling down, and that was
Yeah.
so lame.
Yeah,
There
no.
was some shots where people were dead and there was blood on the wall.
Yeah,
But that's
Yeah,
about
but
it.
that's it.
that movie easily
well,
could have been PG-13.
I think they did. Let's see, like, what happened was,
Jaws had more balls in that movie. It killed kids.
Originally, it had all the gore in it, and it got an NC-17 rating. And so they're like, okay, well, we don't want that, so we're gonna get it down to R. And they said, okay. And the director was like, no, it's supposed to be this dark, serious thing. I want to show all this crazy stuff. And then they're like, give me at least that. And they're like, no, make it rated R. So they cut a few scenes, and they're like, oh, that's good. Now that it's rated R, cut more.
I think the director was
so they
like,
cut more and more and more and more and more until
even-
finally there's like practically no violence in it.
even if the
So who knows what
director
that footage is.
like wanted it to be dark, and assuming that he filmed all of what was in the final movie under wanting it to be dark, I don't think he did that great of a job.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, well, I mean, during the production, like Sylvester Stallone and the studio fought him constantly. So I mean, so his original vision was not even close to coming true.
Somebody
Unfortunately.
tell me what the villain's plot was.
He
I
was
completely
mad.
forgot, and
All right,
I didn't
wait,
know
wait,
how
I
to
got you.
even. It didn't make any sense. To
All
me.
right, so the villain, he was Judge Dredd's partner.
Yes.
Later found out brother.
And clone.
And cloned. Judge Dredd judged him, put him in prison.
Yeah. Well, I got
And
that.
then he breaks out of prison. And then he wants revenge on Dredd and the rest of society.
Okay, so when he broke out of prison, he shoots the guy with the gun that's like that's secretly a gun thing. He shoots him. But then the guns, like the automated turrets, instead of targeting him, target the guy that got shot. It made no sense at all. I was like, how the heck did he escape from that?
I don't know.
They
dude.
go, oh shoot, that guy's running, shoot him. It didn't make it. And like, wouldn't they automate on the guy that's?
I don't know, dude.
It doesn't make any sense.
But
Yeah,
so
I think
his-
they just shoot one spot.
his ultimate plan is the people that made Dredd and his brother were like, we're gonna make an army of judges that are all like cloned, just like Dredd is, and like people that are just subservient. And so the brother guy, he's like, no, I'm gonna make my own clone army. So he clones himself.
There was a great line in there where when they were explaining his clone brother guy,
Yeah.
where he's like, "You were made to be the perfect judge. He was made to be the perfect criminal." Like he said something got messed up and he became the best criminal.
Yeah,
or something like that.
That was a line.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
where it's like, "Oh, dude, Dredd's the best because he's the law.
Yeah, he is the law.
He's the
I'm the law! You can't arrest me! I've never broken the law once! I am the law!
I'm the law.
He says, "I would never break the law. I am the law." That's the line.
I wouldn't break me.
God, what a movie. 10 laws out of 9
Okay,
laws.
so he breaks out. He goes and finds the other clone people, or he's making them.
Yeah. And then he wants an army so he can, like, rule the city. Or
I always
whatever.
want an army, dude.
Yeah, they always want them.
Yep.
And then he was saying he could be a god.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna be a god.
He said that Dredd was under arrest because he's for being human instead of a god.
Alright.
Yeah.
He says, "You're under arrest for being human when you could have been a god." And then he goes,
Yeah,
and then
that's-
his gun's out of ammo, and then he's like, "Meeting a judge."
C'est Dieu.